So how long does it actually take to get to Mars? If you've ever wondered this while looking up at that faint red dot in the night sky, you're in the right place. Let's break it down, from launch pad to landing. First, let's put things in perspective. Getting to the edge of space, about 100 kilometers up, takes just 8 to 10 minutes by rocket. The International Space Station? That's a couple hours at most. But Mars? That's an entirely different ballgame. The average distance between Earth and Mars is a mind-boggling 225 million kilometers, or 140 million miles. But that number isn't fixed. Sometimes when the planets are closest, they're just 56 million kilometers apart. That happened back in 2003. At their farthest, Mars can be a whopping 401 million kilometers away, on the opposite side of the Sun. So, how long does the trip actually take? Right now, most robotic missions use something called a Hohmann transfer orbit. That's basically the most fuel-efficient path, but it's not the fastest. These missions typically last between 6 and 9 months. For example, NASA's Perseverance rover took about 7 months, that's 29 weeks, when it launched in 2020 and landed in February 2021. But what about the future? Companies like SpaceX are aiming to cut that travel time down to just 3 to 5 months, somewhere between 80 and 150 days, if they time their launch windows just right. The sweet spot? About 115 days? Or just under 4 months. Now let's imagine what it would be like if we could travel at the speed of the fastest human-made object, NASA's Parker Solar Probe. This thing can hit an insane 692,000 kilometers per hour, about 430,000 miles per hour. At that speed, and at Mars' closest approach, you could make the trip in just 3.3 days. Even at the farthest distance, you'd get there in under a month. Of course, that's pure science fiction for now. Current technology just isn't there for crewed missions. Okay, so you've arrived on Mars. What can you expect? Mars is cold, really cold. The average surface temperature is around minus 65 degrees Celsius, or minus 85 Fahrenheit. In the summer at the equator, daytime highs can reach a balmy 20 degrees Celsius, but at night, temperatures plunge fast, down to minus 100 or even lower, especially in the winter. At the poles, try minus 125 Celsius. That's minus 195 Fahrenheit. Why so extreme? Mars' atmosphere is super thin, only 1% as dense as Earth's, so it can't hold on to heat. There's barely any greenhouse effect, no oceans, and no thick clouds to smooth things out. Throw in wild seasonal shifts and massive dust storms, and you get some of the most dramatic temperature swings in the solar system. So whether you're dreaming of a trip to Mars or just love thinking about the next frontier, remember, space travel isn't just about distance. It's about timing, technology, and surviving one wild ride. Subscribe to Scientific Spectrum for more space discoveries. Thanks for joining me on this cosmic journey. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit subscribe for more space adventures. Until next time, keep looking up.